All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my special guest from Florida International University, defensive lineman Keegan Davis. Man, how's it going, bro?
It's going. Oh my god, it's going great, man. How you doing? Sorry, my alarm actually just went off because I was putting the timer on.
Oh, it's okay, man.
just the meeting. Yeah. How you
Oh,
doing?
I'm doing so
Thank you for
well,
having
man.
me.
You're having some issues or no?
No, no, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
that's all good, man. Let's welcome Florida International University defensive lineman Keegan Davis. Man, how's it going?
Good man. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime, bro. For anybody else who's not familiar with you, man, please tell them who you are.
Keegan Davis, from Port St. Lucie, Florida. Went to Treasure Coast High School. Played tight end in high school, and then played defensive end my whole college career.
Okay, so you have some background at tight end. That's intriguing.
Yeah, yeah. I committed out of high school. I committed to Marshall during the COVID pandemic, and then ended up decommitting and then committed to FIU under Butch Davis as a defensive end.
Ooh, okay. Um,
Yes, sir.
so what got you into football earlier?
What got me into football was my father. Actually, he actually growing up, I thought I was a basketball player. So I thought I was a basketball player. I was really, really good at basketball, and my father, he kind of pushed the football narrative. 'Cause, we weren't my brother, me and my brother, we weren't nothing. No, six kids at 12-year-old. You got to be kind of be a freak to go to school as a basketball player. It's a very hard thing to do. So I was like, if I got to transition to something else, and so that's where I found my love for football. At about probably about got a lot of All American invites in middle school, and so I kind of found my niche for it.
Okay, so it all started with basketball, and then you just realized, you know what? Maybe just give football a try. I guess that was like a big, huge factor to it, huh?
Yeah, we did a lot of sports growing up, but both, you know, we did baseball, football, and basketball. My dad always had us in sports, but football was the one that I found actually taught me a lot of life lessons, and that's where I'm supposed to be at.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, at least you were capable of doing all different sports. I mean, so you were saying coming out of high school, you had offers from Marshall, but what was the other offers like besides Florida International?
So I had my top five coming out of high school was Georgia Southern was my very first offer. Now, mind you, these are all for tight end. My FIU was the only one I had for defensive end. So I had FAU, I had Marshall, I had Coastal Carolina, and Georgia Southern on and then FIU. But basically, my top four for tight end was those schools that I just mentioned. But FIU was the only one that was for a defensive end, and I really wanted to play. Like my dream was always to play football in Florida. So I could always have the family environment. I can come home whenever I wanted to. And FAU didn't work out because they ended up switching the coaching staff mid-pandemic. That's when they had Willie Taggart. So they switched coaching staff. So the offer was kind of like didn't really stick with the new staff. And yeah, so FIU was the move, man. It was probably the best decision I ever made.
Well, you wanted to be close to home anyway, so it made a lot of sense. So
Um,
you didn't go too far. You went to Miami, so that's kind of like right. That's
yeah,
like I guess
right.
they have two different college programs, huh?
Yeah,
It's kind of intriguing to be in that environment in Miami, huh?
yeah. It was it was best 5 years of my life, man. It was awesome.
A lot of parties over there, right?
Yeah, that was a fun thing though. It was almost like it was so much partying that you really didn't know where to party at. You
It
know,
had to
we,
be that fun.
yeah, it was because FIU was never really like it's not really a college town. Like the town's not really it's not really a college atmosphere. So there's never like no parties on campus or nothing like that. So it's always like you got to go out, but you can't go out unless you're 21. So it was always like you never really knew where to go. So which is a good thing.
I mean, it's a good thing, but when you think about it, man, it's like when they think of Miami, they just think of the Hurricanes first. But doesn't it kind of motivate you guys to get mentioned a little bit more?
Oh yeah, man. We always when we went out, we would always see those guys. Those guys are great. Yeah, I mean, it always be obviously it's a rivalry in a sense, but at the end of the day, it's all love. At the end of the day, we're all Miami. So
Yeah, it is. I mean, regardless of what happened in that bowl game, I'm pretty sure were you even rooting for the Hurricanes in that matchup, or were you kind of hoping Indiana just took the Hurricanes?
No, no, I wanted it was kind of like this for me with the national championship. It was like this. I knew Miami was more talented, but playing college football, I know that the most talented team doesn't always win, and I know Indiana always plays very, very good football, and probably didn't have the more talented team, but they had the better football team as far as a team aspect, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I wanted them, of course, to bring it back to Miami, but I was like, man, these Indiana guys, those guys are serious. I actually trained with a kid that was one of the receivers.
Oh man, see, but that's kind of like the interesting part. But like you said, it's like a friendly rivalry with these Hurricanes. But so why should NFL teams draft you, and what makes you stand out from the rest of the defensive end?
If you look at if you do your research on me, you always hear the coaches talk about how Keegan's not the most freakish guy. He's not the most like crazy gifted guy like that. But one thing he's disciplined, and his mental aspect of the game is very, very different. He plays with his technique. He uses his technique to his advantage. A lot of the guys in college that you see drafted use a lot of their talent. And yes, I have talent, but I'm also not 6'6". I'm not nowhere near that. I'm 6'2.5". But the way I use my technique and the way you watch my film, I think you can see I use that better than probably anybody you'll see on film.
Okay, so you put the heart and effort in, is what they're saying.
Yeah, like a lot of the plays you'll see I make, there are a lot of them are effort plays.
That's what I like, man. A guy that puts his hard work into it, man, and doesn't take a play off, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man. So I'm pretty sure when you watch a lot of film at the position, who do you model your game after, or who you emulate the most?
Trey Hendricks, Trey Hendrickson, for sure. I love Trey. I love watching Trey.
Yeah, Florida kid too. That's
Yeah,
the cool part,
yeah.
man.
He's another guy. You look at him. You know what I'm saying? Even when you look at him, if you look at him with his shirt off, he doesn't look like a freak. You look at Bosa with his shirt off, that guy's, you look at Aaron Donald with a shirt off, Miles Garrett with a shirt off. These guys are freaks. You look at
Yeah,
Trey, Trey's just an average guy compared to those dudes. But, you know what I'm saying? 2 years ago, he led the NFL in sacks. Went
yeah,
to FAU, wasn't a Power Five guy, but the one thing he was a dog.
yeah. And he was still consistent, but last year I think it had to do with the injuries, or else he would have been more balling out.
Yeah.
But he gets an opportunity to get a change of scenery now because it doesn't look like the Bengals are going to bring him back. But yeah, man, when he's at full strength for health, man, that guy can dominate, man.
Yeah, yeah, he's different. But all it is with him, in my personal opinion, just watching him, it's just his mentality.
Yeah, his mentality, even at 270 pounds, whatever he weighs, man, he
Yeah.
plays a lot bigger than that.
Yep.
But so how do you prepare for your opponents, and what's your game day routine?
Luckily I was gifted to be coached by a guy by the name of Kanechi Udeza. He was 2004 first round draft pick to the Minnesota Vikings, and he was the one that really taught me how to break down film and break down an offensive lineman. And what I like to do is I'm very big on who I'm going against. So for me, it's always usually the tackles and then anybody inside. So for me, I like to break down the feet. First thing I do is this guy heavy on his inside foot? Is this guy heavy on his outside foot? And then I move up to the waist. Okay, can he bend? Can he not bend? Because this guy can dip around. This guy got to power through. And then you got to look at where does he place his hands. You got a lot of old linemen that place their hands low, and they're a low puncher, and they like to knock your inside hip out. So if he's doing that, I'll probably just hit him with a cross chop a lot of times, or bring it from a cross chop to a power move. Um, but yeah, I like to basically work from the ground up because that's where everything comes from. Everything starts at the ground, and you work your way up. And then you got to see what type of mental does he have. Is he a guy that puts his hands on his hips? Is he a guy that in the third quarter is he gasping for air? When they go tempo, is he winded? Because that's somewhere, like I said earlier, that's somewhere where I kind of thrive. I'm always in top shape, so I know by the third quarter if your hands on your hips and you're sucking for wind, I know I'm about to take advantage of you.
Yeah,
So
because I guess the more they get weared out, or you kind of
yeah,
get the idea, like, hey, he might be too tired. Maybe I'll be able to have a chance to beat him a couple times.
exactly. So like for me, I like to I'm a big guy on body language. How is he? What does he look like before the play starts?
For sure. I mean, you can tell by how their body is moving or how they kind of seem like you can get the body
Yep.
language. Like maybe he's tired or maybe he's just like wear out or something.
Yeah, and then that's when, and then after that, obviously, you start breaking down what are the offensive tendencies and stuff like that. What does a quarterback like to do? Do these guys line the running back a little bit wider when they run inside zone? Do these guys, do they put them a little bit deeper in the backfield when they run stretch or things like that?
Absolutely. But as far as like your game day preparation, what do you get ready for game day for?
Oh, game day preparation. All right. So I wake up in the morning. I always have a great conversation with one of my best friends. I was on the team. His name's Ola Sukomi. He goes by Sue. I always have a great conversation with him at breakfast, and then he's fortunate enough he's my roommate, so he kind of keeps me unanxious, and then once right around 6 o'clock, the headphones come on, and then I'm kind of just in my zone. I kind of every time I go out for stretch, I come back in. I always text my mother, "I love you," and then I really like to just think about my father. My father, like I said in the beginning, he's been a big impact on me, but yeah, it's just it's real mental leading up to the game. It's nothing. Not for me. It's not really physical. Going through camps and stuff like that, you really train your body to do all the physical stuff. So I don't really worry about nothing physical. For me, it's like staying composed, calming down, not getting anxious. Just taking your time with things. Don't rush anything. Like if you're getting taped, don't rush it. Calm down. Don't break a sweat getting taped. You know what I'm saying? If you're hitting the hot tub, you don't freak out. You know what I'm saying? We're doing something that we've been doing our whole lives.
Yeah, that's how you guys are like, you get ready for your opponent, you get pumped up, you get that little energy, the juice kicked in.
Yeah.
That's just any way to make it happen, man. But I mean, just from your game alone, man, what's an area of weakness that you need to improve on at the next level?
Oh, well, when you talk about the next level, I think it would just be mental. Football IQ. I mean, obviously, there's a big jump mentally from college to NFL or college to CFL or college to XFL. Anything pro, obviously, these guys, these are not all. Everybody's gonna be good. The fifth string is gonna be just as good as the starter. So it's like, where does somebody find? Just to always win your one on ones, it's always gonna be a winning edge. So where's that winning edge come from? For me personally, it's always gonna be the mental aspect of the game. You know
Ab-
Everybody's
Absolutely.
gonna do the same amount of practicing. Everybody's gonna do the same amount of conditioning, but who's gonna sit in the film room longer? Who's gonna? So I think for me, um, in the next level, I think my weakness would be just adjusting to all that, just the new. Just taking on the adjustment.
The adjustment to the speed of the game would probably be a lot different than what you had in college. That's for sure. That's
Exactly.
going to be a lot of adjustments. Going to have to do with maybe playing at that weight level or improving the speed level. That's what they
Exactly.
always look at
Yep.
because that game's at the next fast level. So looking at the way you kind of like represent the college for all those years, what do you take away from all that experience at Florida International that can get you ready for the next level?
For me, one thing I took, I was one of the guys that didn't transfer. You see a lot of dudes nowadays hitting the transfer portal. So one thing I learned from it is, and one thing I would always pass down is, no matter what, no matter who your coach is, no matter what system or none of that, like I said, my coach that I was fortunate enough to have, he always taught me nothing will work unless you do. So the one thing I would take from it was God put you here, and God put you there for a reason. So where you are, just be where your feet are, and always take advantage of your time.
Absolutely. And you just said because you are like one of the very rare players to stay in that one program because now you're seeing a lot of these college students going from another program to another, man. Like
Yeah.
the NYL money is kind of changing the game. So were there any other chances where there was teams looking to get you to come out of like a transfer portal or no?
For me, of course, there's always guys that the big thing was the money. So there's always dudes coming at you with a price tag and all that. But I was fortunate enough to be raised by a dude that he didn't. That's not really how I was raised. My father didn't teach me, money is everything. It's more about the experience. So for me, I'll tell you right now, I was coached by the best D line coach in college football. Um, how many dudes can sit there and say that they were coached by a first round draft pick? I mean, there's a lot of dudes that are coaching in college, but like I said, how many can say that they were doing what he did in his career? So for me, I was just worried about the experience. Like when I came into college, money was never a thing. I never really thought I was going to make a crazy amount of money. You see all these kids making millions of dollars now. So for me, I would talk to my friends, and all they were worried about was a price tag. Um, and me, I was just worried about what was the best way to get me prepared for the next level. Because if you're worried about money, you'll make the money when you get to the pros.
Yeah, you gotta let the work speak for itself. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, sure, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna take a knock on those guys. You know, you make business decisions. If you want to make that money,
100%.
go ahead. But like you said, you gotta work hard for that money. But sometimes it does take a price for them to go to that program. So
Yeah.
I mean
For
that
me, I
speaks a
just
lot.
wanted to. Yeah, for me, I just wanted to stay where I was because I loved where I was. It was the best place for me to live at. I mean, how many dudes can say they're playing football in Miami, Florida? How many
Yeah,
dudes can say they're getting coached by a guy like Willie Simmons, a guy like Butch Davis, a guy like Kenichi Udeze? Like those were true blessings in my life.
yeah, and you were coach on one of the best players that got drafted in the first round,
Yep.
and you come to a great environment. Like, who wouldn't want to go to Miami, bro? Like, if you
Come
want to
on.
have a good time, right? If you want to have a good
Yep.
time, go to Miami, man.
Yeah. Whatever you need, whatever you want to do, it's there.
I'm pretty sure the ladies are pretty good over there. And then you got the beaches, and you got a bunch of selection of nice Cuban food and other kind of selections down there,
Oh,
man.
amazing food, man. Amazing food. A bunch of different culture. And fortunately, I went to international school. So you got to meet a lot of different cultures. It was very eye opening. So you guys you could see people all from all over the country. I remember one time I was in the dining hall and this kid told me he was from where was he East Asia, and I was like, dude, how long is that flight? And he was just telling me all about it. It was crazy. It's just you see a bunch of different walks of life.
Yeah, like you learn from a lot of people why they come to this
Exactly.
country because
Exactly.
some of them only move because they want the freedom because where they originally came from, they don't have that freedom.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, you learned a lot about the culture. But what NFL teams have you met with?
Right now, I don't. I haven't. I did a showcase. There's a lot of scouts there. A lot of scouts that talk to me, but I haven't really gotten to that process yet. Um. Yeah.
Well, that will take time. I mean, once you get to your pro day and once you get
Yeah. I have. Like I said, I haven't. Yeah. I haven't even done my pro day yet. So I gotta do all that first.
yeah, it's understandable. So, what would be the clear message for somebody that's in a similar situation as you? What would be more encouraging for them to continue what they're doing?
Similar situation as of me. For me, the one lesson I'll teach somebody or tell somebody that I learned that probably made the most sense to me is comparison is a thief of all joy. So if you sit there and you compare yourself to all these other people that make it seem like they're in better situations, always know that the grass isn't always greener. And if you compare yourself, if I sat there and compare myself to a bunch of different people, I wouldn't be where I am today. So the best thing I've ever done is just put my head down and worked. And
Okay,
if you do that, you'll get in what you put out. So if you sit back and you look at everybody else, you'll get sit back and look at everybody else's results. If you just put your head down and have tunnel vision and work, you get put your head down in tunnel vision and work results.
that's a good advice to put into because, like, sometimes being too compared makes you too comfortable with that comparison. You want to be your own self. That's what it seems like.
Exactly. And sometimes you compare yourself to stuff that's uncomparable. You know,
Yeah, you don't
like I
want to
can't
try
get
to.
I can't compare myself to Miles Garrett because I'm not Miles Garrett.
No, you're Keegan Davis, man. So it's
Exactly.
like, I mean, maybe put yourself in the conversation with Ruben Bain. Maybe not. Just I don't know. Like maybe you guys have something like a friendly competition as far as with that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cool just to go to that environment, but then to see a competition like Miami, they were that close to winning the championship. They were talented, but this guy, they got some good D line like Mesador. This guy's like 25, play at a very high level.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Another team. Look at their defensive line coach. Another legend.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had Mike Rump like a couple years back, man. That guy, phew, bro, he was something.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah.
some Ed Reed stories, and he was coaching DBs at Miami, bro.
Yeah, the stories from those guys are awesome. I could sit down and I could listen to those type of dudes all day.
Oh yeah. But if you had a selection of having five people on your dinner, like celebrities, past or present, the ones who are alive or dead, whatever one you pick, man, who would you choose?
To sit down and have a dinner with.
Yeah,
Oh man. There has to be football players. They could be different. They could be
it could be
different.
anybody in general.
All right. For me, I would love to have five dudes, and this is not including me.
Yeah, just five people. You're the sixth one.
Okay, I'm the sixth. All right, I'm gonna put a guy by the name of Blaze Winter at my table. You probably don't know him. He played way back in the day. He trained me since I was little. I'm gonna have Kinesu Dez at my table, of course. Um, I would like to hear a conversation from Michael Strahan. Um, and then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put Master P on there too.
Ugh!
I'm gonna put Master P on there. You know, he's a guy my dad made me grow up listening to, and I just loved. I love his business aspect and the way he was able to flip and go from the rapper to the businessman. I love that. And one more dude, probably Michael Jordan. I
Michael
think that was
Jordan,
five.
man.
I think
Yeah,
that was five. Yeah,
most
yeah,
successful owner too when it comes to it, and most successful player.
exactly.
I mean, Master P became a rapper, then became a successful
He's
businessman.
one of my
Like,
favorites, man. Oh, he's one of my favorites. Game day, that's what I'm rocking.
oh, catch me in the thanks. Let's get him. I used to hear
I
that
was
a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I was a No Limit Soldier kid. I remember my dad had a Hummer when I was growing up. He used to blast No Limit
No
Soldiers,
limit
man.
soldier. I thought I
Yeah,
told you.
that's right.
I mean, it was a lot like those were the good songs that he used to like have. He had different kinds, but like,
Yeah,
yeah, he's a successful businessman, just like a lot of these other
exactly.
guys.
I like to. I'm a big. I like to learn how to handle money. Like you see all these kids with all this money, and then like tax season comes around, and then these kids don't know what to do with it. And so like you just listening to dudes that have been businessmen and owners and stuff. It's just like how they manage their money, and they like actually make their money make them more money.
Yeah, because a lot of them they don't even know how to handle the money, and they just think, let's just spend, let's spend,
Spend it.
and
Yep.
then they end up being broke.
Yep. You gotta
You hate
invest
to
it.
hate that you hate to hear that story, man, because they started off being regular or poor to where they're at. So it's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, man. Let's get on to getting to know you, man. So outside of football, who are you as a person?
Oh, who am I as a person? I'm a kid from Port St. Lucie, Florida. That grew up and really all he knew was how to play football, and that's all he wanted to do. And he grew up. I grew up. I had an older brother. I have a great family dynamic with my father and my mother. I was blessed that they never divorced. They have a great marriage. I got three dogs, and I'm kind of a popular loner in a sense. If I go outside, I go down to the Publix. A lot of people know me. A lot of respect in my city. Just basically because of my work ethic. I was just a kid that was known for working really hard, and kind of everything he has, he worked hard for.
Okay, so you're kind of a down to earth kind of guy, and
Yeah,
you're kind
man.
of a quiet guy when it comes to your own peace.
Quiet guy, but I've always been a real person. I never shy away from telling anybody the truth and tell them the truth that they need to hear.
Tell them the truth, but nothing but the truth, man.
Exactly, man.
I mean, okay, as far as like game consoles, Xbox or PlayStation.
Oh, for Xbox, man. Come on, Xbox
Okay,
for sure.
okay,
Xbox for sure.
NCAA or Madden, man.
Oh, NCAA. It's got to be right. It's like a video game I'm in. I gotta be
Yeah,
playing that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like you said, Xbox, man. What kind of game you enjoy? Halo or Grand Theft Auto?
I grew up. I grew up playing. My brother's 3 years older than me. And he was the gamer. Right. I was really never outside. I was. Oh no, my bad. I was never inside. I was always outside. And I was never inside because the video game. I was terrible at it because I'm playing my older brother who's 3 years older than me, and he's killing me. So we played a lot of Gears of War, played a lot of Halo, a lot of Army of Two. Um, yeah, I wasn't really good at it, and but then when I would play kids my age, I was always smoke them in games. So I loved Halo. Like I said, Gears of War. Yeah, but I was when I found out when my parents actually let me play GTA. I think GTA 4 was the first one I had. That was my game.
Yeah, GTA, man. Like even the last one that they had was the best one.
Yeah, yeah, 5 was really good.
And
I
I'm
still
waiting
play
for
it.
part 6, but it ain't even came, man. That's
It's
just
come. Listen, it's gonna come. When it comes, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit the game system like a,
it's gonna
a
hit different.
hurricane, man.
It's gonna hit different for sure,
What
man. But
about you? What about you?
oh, I got Xbox, so that's my kind of thing.
Okay, all right.
As far as like NCAA, man, I haven't played that game in a long time, but it was always the best game to play. But I would say NCAA for sure. I don't get me wrong, I like Madden, but NCAA you
Yeah.
can pick any different kind of schools and all that stuff.
My favorite was when you could play with the mascots.
The mascots,
Yeah, that
the
was
ones where they
fire.
can run the ball too, right?
Yeah, the whole team was mascots. Oh man, I would always be like the. I would always play UCF. The Knights there was were fire.
Oh, so that was like the team you grew up watching.
No, 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 no. I was always a no. I actually, unfortunately, I was always a Hurricanes fan.
Man, that's got to be crazy, man, to be a Hurricane fan, but then to go to the other rival, right? That's got to be one
Yep.
of those
You know
funny
that
stories.
that's one of the games that actually hooked me. I was actually a recruit for when FIU last played Miami and they won.
Damn.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So
I was in a locker
just
room and everything.
yeah, you being just imagine you being a fan of that team growing up, but then having to play the opposite side, man. It's got to be surreal,
My
right?
bad.
Oh, it's all good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But does the I mean, oh, are you good? Hmm, reception issues. Oh, you good, man?
My bad, brother. I got a phone call. I apologize. Go ahead.
It's all right, man. But does it kind of feel surreal about your dream going into the NFL?
Yeah. Yeah. I never thought I would be here. Even training for it is kind of crazy. And then, the thing is that the thing that's real tricky about it is you never know what's next. You never know when somebody's gonna hit your phone. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know. Like in college, the one thing about college, you always had another season.
Another
It's
year.
all right. I got another season. I got another season. Now it's like, all right, college is over. Now it's time to move into the professional aspect. And the professional aspect is it's now a job, and you don't know what's gonna happen with it.
Yeah, new opportunity, and sometimes it's got to be your last with the
Yep.
college team and all
Yep.
that. But man, it has to feel surreal that you grew up a Hurricane fan and you end up playing for that other Miami team, bro. It just has that odd kind of way, right?
Yeah. You know what? And it is what it is. And I wouldn't want it no other way.
It's kind of like if you grew up a Dolphins fan and you end up playing for the Jaguars. That just feels kind of like an
Yeah.
awkward kind of journey, right?
No, it's a little different when you get there. At that point, I'm not really any fan. You could. I'll be any fan that takes me.
Whatever they pay you, right? Like it's the job.
Hey, whoever wants to take me.
Yeah, whoever wants to take you, man, that's like a job, bro. Like they're paying
Yeah,
my bills. That's my team.
that's yeah, man. It's always been my team.
Yeah, you could just say, man, they paid me. That's my team now.
Yeah, always knew I was a 49ers fan.
Oh, you were?
Now, growing up, I was a Dolphins fan. But let's say the 49ers signed me, I'm like, hey, now I've been a 49ers fan my whole life.
You're getting paid to be the advertiser. But hey, like, see, I had a feeling it had something to do with the Dolphins because you're not too far from Dolphins country, and I would
Oh
say it
man,
would be
big.
kind of surreal to play for maybe either the Jaguars or the Bucks.
Yeah, my dream would be to play for the Dolphins for sure. But you know, my dream would also be just to play in the NFL
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool wherever it goes, man. Even if you
or
end up in the
anywhere.
Bay Area, man, you're gonna love the Mexican food over here.
Come on, let's do it. It's my favorite
Oh,
type of food.
oh yeah, man, absolutely, man. Well, dude, the journey is going to go from here, man. But for um, for everybody else, man, tell them what you're doing currently and tell them who you are again, and we're gonna definitely root for you to succeed, bro. Whatever the opportunity presents, bro, just take advantage of it, man, and do what you do best, man.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm Keegan Davis from Edge from Florida International University. Right now, I'm just trained to play professionally, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time, man. Most important thing somebody can give you.
Oh, for sure, man. And for everybody else, this is Keegan Davis from Florida International, man. Check him out, man. This guy puts a lot of work, man. This guy is the perfect example of what a true professional should be, man. Stay in your program, put the work in, and it's going to pay off.
Sir. Thank you, man.
Oh, absolutely. And for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. And we good, bruh.